Hi, Scott Peterson, coming to you from my home office because, as with pretty much everyone else in the world, we are working remotely and trying to social distance and self-quarantine to the extent that we are able to under the circumstances. The coronavirus pandemic has obviously affected everyone in the world, and from our perspective, it's an interesting situation in that we see lots of people coming to us with questions about, employment issues and other issues, but also questions about planning. And one of the things that's become crystal clear during this situation, if it wasn't before, is the importance of planning. I'm going to talk today about a couple of reasons why planning is so important during times of crisis. So first is that you have to understand something. The court system in New York State is frozen. The courts have essentially shut down. They're open for emergency applications only. And that includes the surrogates court. And the surrogates court handles all kinds of things relating to estates, but among other things, it handles claims relating to probate of wills. Okay, so if you pass away or a family member passes away and they have a will, in New York, you have to take that will to the surrogates court to get it approved for probate in order to distribute the assets under the will. In good times, this takes a while. Okay, in good times, this takes anywhere from a month to several months. Right now, we don't know because there's a pause, and what's going to happen is that during this pause, people are going to continue to pass away, estates are going to continue to be ready to be filed, and when they lift this moratorium, there's going to be a flood of new cases filed, which means there's going to be a delay, which means that if you had a family member who passed away and you had to go through probate, things would not happen anytime soon. And that could be a serious problem, especially if there's assets that need to be dealt with. This is one of the reasons why we typically push for or suggest trust-based planning in our practice. Trusts are private documents. They can be administered without the necessity of going to court. And in that scenario where a family member or someone has passed away, you can start distributing very quickly after the death. In times like this, that can be critical to families. And so it's important to talk with someone about, whether either a trust might be appropriate or some other transfer of assets in a manner or retitling of assets in a manner that allows them to pass on death as opposed to having to go through a will. Okay. Another reason that planning is important in times of crisis is that you don't know what's going to happen. Okay. We've seen lots of very difficult stories coming out of this coronavirus crisis of people who were sort of taken by surprise and didn't have the opportunity to put things in place to plan, okay? That's the sad reality of life. Whether it's the coronavirus or a car accident or some other health condition, you never know when something's going to happen. And so the best time to plan was yesterday. The second best time to plan is today. And the third reason that you really want to think about planning in a time of crisis is because of your children. Again, you want to have things as clear as possible so that you can limit the ability or the necessity of courts getting involved. You want to try to be in a situation where everyone knows what your intentions are, what your desires are, and they can be effectuated quickly and conveniently. The best way to do that is to properly plan, to put documents in place that allow you to do that. Now that's where we come in. And the upside of our practice is that we can do everything essentially virtually. New York has recently lifted the restriction on electronic notarization of documents. And so at this point, we are able to basically draft all of your documents electronically. We conduct the initial meeting virtually. We can help you get to where you need to be during a time of uncertainty. Now, you might think, well, I don't want to think about these kind of things now during a difficult time. But I can assure you that once you do, you will feel a sense of relief knowing that things are taken care of. So if you have questions or you want to talk to us about this, visit our estate planning website at spacitylaww.com, visit our main website at DerazioPeterson.com, or click on the link below to schedule a virtual estate planning and family protection session now. And everyone stay healthy.